that Beijing has chosen as a leader to essentially interfere in Canadian politics. And it looks like those forces are lining up behind Mr. Carney. It looks like what I would call related cyber forces are attacking Chrystia Freeland. So I think already I'm confident saying there's interference in the Liberal leadership campaign.
Let me ask you about something that I'm a little worried about. You mentioned that a disinformation operation against Chrystia Freeland was flagged by Canadian Security Committee tasked with monitoring elections. My understanding is that the Liberal leadership contest is open to people as young as 14, and now you have to be a permanent resident. Before it was anyone, even foreign nationals, I understand. But still, you don't have to be a Canadian citizen, and you don't have to be an adult. And given how fast it's happening and how online it is, it seems to me that it is at great risk of being gamed or even hacked. And I would say the Chinese hackers are amongst the best in the world. I'd put them up there with Israel, United States, Russia, and China. Those are probably your top 4 computer-savvy countries. I simply don't believe that the, $30 an hour computer programmers at the Liberal Party of Canada can build something resistant to top Chinese hackers. And maybe there's no way around it, but I mean, I guess in our elections, we use paper and pencil ballots. Are you worried that the Liberal leadership contest will be abused, distorted, interfered with, taken over, infiltrated by the Chinese government or another government? Maybe it's Iran, who says we will be able to choose literally the next Canadian prime minister for what could be the next 6 months, because whoever wins that Liberal leadership is probably going to be able to do a deal with Jagmeet Singh, and is probably going to be the prime minister till October. That's a pretty big prize to win. What do you think?
I'm hugely worried, and I'll try to break it down into about 3 or 4 points. One, it came out again in the Hogue Commission. MP Michael Chon testified. His evidence was that he has grave concerns that the next, or a prime minister or a premier under Canada's system can be chosen by leadership nomination contests that are open to abuse. Another major point from the Hogue Commission was it's not as much the general election as nominations and leadership contests that are most open to abuse. And, with regards to the attack on Chrystia Freeland, again, using the very same network, that is WeChat, vectors, connections to Chinese state media, and disinformation, it resembled exactly the attack on Kenny Chiu. So I think a lot of smart people were wondering, why Chrystia Freeland? Well, one, she is the one that in Justin Trudeau's party took some regulatory action against, I'll just call it a financial startup, which according to the reports from the Globe and Mail had concerns around Chinese state activity, concerns around illicit alleged money laundering. There's ongoing lawsuits there, so I'll leave that at that. But how convenient would it be for, if Beijing is trying to control a major financial entity with insight into the lives of Chinese Canadians, to attack the person that regulated it, and perhaps to favor a Mark Carney? Because Ezra, remember, I know you follow the Better Politics reporters closely. There's no denial that Carney appears to be the choice of the Trudeau Prime Minister's office. It's sort of like if you want to call it a baton pass to a new leader. And it looks like the Liberal Party is doing pretty well with that, if you want to call it scheme right now. And I have already seen on the ground indications, to your point, could the next prime minister be chosen by a foreign state? Look, I reported this morning for the Bureau in a podcast that open source records show Mark Carney appearing in the Richmond riding, remember, where Kenny Chiu was attacked, with the Liberal Party MP who benefited from the attack on Kenny Chiu. And in the crowd, astute observers noticed designated Beijing United Front Work Department community leader. So what does that mean? It's someone in the community in British Columbia that Beijing has chosen as a leader to essentially interfere in Canadian politics. And it looks like those forces are lining up behind Mr. Carney. It looks like what I would call related cyber forces are attacking Chrystia Freeland. So I think already I'm confident saying there's interference in the Liberal leadership campaign.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. Oh, hi, it's Ezra Levant here in Toronto with an important message because we need your help. Independent journalism in Canada is under attack. Government censors, big tech deplatformers, and the dying legacy media are all working together to maintain exclusive control on the information you receive. They don't want you to hear other voices like ours, and they really don't want you to be informed and to think for yourself. That's why the work we do here at Rebel News is so important. Our on-the-ground reporting, independent news shows, and special content you won't find anywhere else. It's all designed to give you trustworthy information and alternative viewpoints so you can decide for yourself. We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.